Why? Oh, this is what a midlife crisis is, where you just buy a bunch of Corvettes. I'm definitely nearing my midlife crisis right now, except I bought 2 clapped out Corvettes. They're so trashed. Okay, the new C6. I am very pumped about it. I've done some work on here. We got new spark plugs because it's got a weird thing. It runs actually perfect for a second. It'll like be just running super smooth, buttery smooth, firing on all cylinders. And then you give it a little gas and it goes into reduced power mode and sounds like it is just not running on all cylinders. So I replaced all the spark plugs. When I was doing that, one of these plug wires like fell apart. So then I went and got all new plug wires for it, and it still does the same thing. No change. It needed that anyway, but it didn't change anything. So maybe these coil packs are bad, maybe the injectors are clogged up or bad. So I actually ordered a little reader, so I'll be able to plug it in the computer and see what codes it's throwing, because it's definitely throwing a lot of codes. And then we can start going through and fixing them. All the compression tests went good on every cylinder. Everything's good there. So I think we've got a solid motor. This is an LS2 400 horsepower motor. It's a very good motor. Well, the LS2s in general are very good motors. This one I'm hoping is good. Everything so far is checking out. We just need to get a reader on it and figure out what cylinders are throwing codes or what exactly is happening, and then start tracking it down, seeing if it needs new coils, seeing if it needs new injectors, that kind of thing. It also might just need some new gas, but I think there's gonna be more to it. For now, I'm waiting on my reader to come, which should be coming, I think, tomorrow. So not doing anything on it right now, but soon. Today, we're working on all this stuff. You know what this could use is some new brakes. Check that out. Okay, hold on. Just wait for it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look how beautiful it is. Okay, so we have some brand new, super awesome brakes. These are from Wilwood, 6-piston brakes. Not sponsored by Wilwood. I paid a lot of money for these brakes, but they're gonna make the car so much better. And it needed new brakes anyway, so I was like, instead of spending a good amount of money getting regular stock brakes, let's spend a little bit more money and upgrade. Oh, hello! Hi! What do you think? You think it needs some new brakes? Yeah, maybe. So obviously, these things would work. I mean, they probably need the rotors at least turned and definitely new pads, and I don't know. The brakes were very squishy and didn't work great. So I figured we're putting a lot more horsepower in this car. We may as well make the brakes a lot better as well. That is what we're tackling today, putting all new brakes on this thing to make it stop way better. Speaking of more horsepower, I didn't show this to you guys yet. Let me show you the old engine first. This is an LT5. It is the stock engine that came in the C4 ZR1. I guess it's like, I mean, the new ZR1s I think have an LT5. They call it an LT5. It's not the same engine at all as those. This is a 90s LT5. This one was in the 1990 ZR1. And this engine was really cool, really special, because it was an all aluminum block, which the regular engines were iron blocks. And then it has these big aluminum heads, and they're giant. You can see how giant this head is because it has 2 overhead cams per head, which was very unique. From the factory, the LT5 in 1990 made 375 horsepower and I think 380-ish torque. So the LT5 is a super cool, iconic engine. It's now 30 years old. And so we had a lot of people who were kind of upset when I said I wasn't gonna be putting that engine back in the ZR1 car, because everyone's like, the C4 ZR1 needs an LT5 in it. That's what makes it crazy. And I was like, yeah, don't care what you think. This is my car. So what we are going to put, instead of this LT5, we are going to put in this LT5. I agree with you guys that the C4 ZR1 needs an LT5, but I wanted more horsepower, and so we were going to build that LT5. Until we saw this one online for sale. It is an LT5 that came out of a ZR1 C4 Corvette, but it's already built, and it's awesome. You're also probably like, Matt, this engine looks way different than the other one. It's because this one has the intake manifold on the top, that one doesn't. This intake manifold is actually the one that was in this car, but the engine that we bought did not have one. So we actually sent this intake manifold to the guy for porting to match it to these heads, which are also ported. Let me tell you about this engine. This engine was actually built by ZR1 Pete, who is Pete from ZR1.net, also known as Pete the Greek. He's basically one of 3 real experts on the LT5 in the country. This is a weird engine that you can't just take to a normal shop and they know how to build it. So this guy, we did our research, he is one of the guys who knows how to build these engines. He specializes in building LT5 engines. This engine was actually his personal engine that he built for himself. All the top end is ported and port matched. You wanna see it? Oh yeah. So what you can't actually tell is how ported these things are because you obviously don't know what they look like. He ported all these to be much bigger, flow much better. It's like a knife edge down here where it turns from 1 to 2 and just really open these things up so they're gonna flow so good now. This is a stock LT5 engine. These are the heads, and what I want you to notice is how this hole is smaller than this hole, and there's also a valve down in there. That's actually why my LT5 wasn't running good, because none of these valves open up. They're supposed to be wide open at wide open throttle. Mine wouldn't open, so it was only running on these smaller air holes here. But notice that they're different sizes. Look how much material is around here, and notice the valve. Now let me show you the new engine. Much less material around the edges here, even less material in the middle there. Even this one is ported out, and he has removed all of the valves. Very open, way less restrictive. Tons more air is gonna flow into this engine. And the heads are all port matched to the intake manifold, so everything flows perfectly. I'm reading so I don't miss anything. Closed deck, big bore sleeves, so this is an aluminum block, but it has these steel sleeves in them, so the cylinders are steel. And then we have new pistons. They're forged 12-to-1 compression. So with the bigger bore, we bumped displacement from 350 stock up to 391. So this is now a 391 V8. Stock crank, stock rods still, because they're actually really good from the factory, and they're super expensive in a weird engine like this. We do have new cams, which normally in an engine you get 1 new cam, and you say, I got a cam, it's got a cam upgrade. This has 4. So there are 4 new cams that they're all upgraded, so more power from the 4 new cams, which is crazy. Very streetable is what he says. He's actually run this thing in a car. It should be very streetable, which is what I want. I want a car that has a ton of power, but is a car I drive to the grocery store and it's fun. I don't want like a race car that is terrible to drive around the streets. So this thing should be just that. So there is my new LT5 super awesome engine. And yeah, he sent it in a Hello Kitty blanket. He said it was his daughter's and she's older now and doesn't need her Hello Kitty blanket, and he thought it'd be funny for us to have it. So appreciate it. He's only selling this thing because he's building a crazier one for his car that's going to be way less streetable, but way more power. I appreciate you selling this one to us. Thank you. He's also been super helpful. And I trust this thing is going to be a great engine. He says he's only ran it for a little bit. It's barely broken in. And this guy is well regarded in the ZR1 community. So I trust that this engine is going to be awesome and he will help us along the way with anything we need. But we are putting a crazy LT5 back in this thing. He said this thing, he had it on a dyno at the wheels, had over 500 horsepower, which in stock form at the wheels probably had just over 300 horsepower. Man, it's gonna be good. But with all that horsepower, we probably should make sure it stops. I just took a break and came up here and did some stuff at Bunker Branding 2.0, and I posted the video today of us doing the stairs, and it's with two guys who are CB welding, and I asked the Demolitia, I asked you guys to go to their Instagram and blow it up. They had 500 followers, and I said, Demolitia, let's get them to 10,000 followers. And I didn't know if it was possible. They're two high school guys who do welding. They have a little welding business, and I was like, I want to support their welding business more than just giving them my business. Look at this freaking awesome warehouse. And so I asked the Demolitia, you guys, to help me out, help me blow up their page. The video has been live for about 4 hours right now, and they have 15,000 followers on their Instagram page. So I just want to say, Demolitia, thank you for being you. Thank you for being awesome. And I get excited about small businesses, and especially young guys who are excited about their small business. And I told you guys about it, and you guys blew it up. And that's gonna really help them to get their name out there and get more business so they can continue doing what they love. So, Demolitia, you're awesome. That is it. Back to the Corvette. I also stopped by and met with CB Welding because they fixed this. This is a Corvette shifter part here. And when we took it out, we broke this little thing on this side. It just broke in half. And took it to them, and they welded it up, and it looks like it's gonna work really good. So, save me from having to buy a whole new one. You guys saw me wire wheeling and then priming and painting all around where the windshield goes, and you'll notice there is no windshield here. These ZR1s actually come with a super weird thing. The ZR1s come with a special windshield that the other base model Corvettes did not have. It had a special film that blocks, I think, UV rays to help keep the cabin cooler. So it was just like a little upgrade. One of the many things that made the ZR1 cost almost twice as much as the base model Corvette. But as those windshields age, it starts delaminating, and our windshield was just disgusting looking. There was a crack in it, but also all of the whole windshield was like turning yellow and really nasty. So we pulled it out. We're gonna replace it with a regular base model Corvette windshield because they're way cheaper, and in 30 years it should still look like clear glass and not nastiness. We actually had some glass guys come by to put it in yesterday, and they said there was too much rust for them to put it in. So I got the wire wheel, took all the rust down, and then painted some special primer on here to keep it from rusting, and then painted it black, and now they can come back and give us a nice brand new windshield for our ZR1. That brake upgrade kit was not cheap. It was actually very expensive. But thankfully, we have this episode sponsored by our friends HelloFresh. We've actually been using HelloFresh for several years, and it's super nice on days like today when I've been busy and getting a bunch of stuff done, but it showed up on my porch like an hour ago, and now I get to be the hero dad who has dinner on the table when my family gets home. It's too easy. Week after week, HelloFresh makes my life better. There's something for everyone, including low-calorie, vegetarian, and family-friendly recipes every week. The average trip to the grocery store takes 41 minutes. That's over 35 hours a year if you go once a week. Or you can order HelloFresh. It comes straight to your house in packaging that is almost completely made of recyclable or already recycled materials. Easily change your delivery days or your food preferences, or skip a meal whenever you need. Go to HelloFresh.com/offtheranch10 for 10 free meals. It is linked in the description below. Perfect timing, perfect time. Hey.
You made dinner all by yourself?
All by myself. I'm just pretty much.
Actually, just saying you actually didn't. You're just like putting it together.
Go to HelloFresh.com and enter the code OffTheRanch10 for 10 free meals, including free shipping. After I eat this, I'll meet you guys out in the barn to show you what we got done on the old ZR1 today. Boom! Okay, Steven's here. What's up, dude?
Hey.
Showing him the vet. All right, so we have the front and back rotors and calipers on there, and we put the wheels on this side just to kind of see what it looks like, and you really can't see a whole lot, but that red caliper really does shine through. And these rotors will be silver, so you'll be able to see them better, but right now they're all painted black. But once the brake pads start wearing on them, it'll wear that paint off, and you'll be able to really see that slot and the drilled areas there. So it's gonna look super, super good. The other thing I kind of need y'all's help with is I want to get different wheels. I like the ZR1 wheels a lot. I think they look cool, and they're huge. You can put 315s on the back, but I just want something different. I want something to show that this car is not a regular ZR1. I want people to look at it from a distance and go, that thing's had some things done. And something to show off these brakes a little more, because they're just so good looking. So I don't know what kind of wheels to go with. So comment below if you have any like pictures or anything, or just the name of the wheel. I'll go look it up. I'm trying to figure out what would look best on a C4. I want it to look more modern, but not like too modern where you're like, that doesn't belong on a 30-year-old car, if that makes any sense. How's the puppy?
Puppy's great.
She's good, right? I really like black wheels, and for this car, it's gonna be loud, and it's gonna be kind of like trashy is what I kind of want it to be, what I envision a C4 being, just a loud, trashy car, and I think trashy cars look really good with black wheels. Hey, you like the brakes, dude? You like? Pretty cool? Dinner good? Cool. All right, guys, comment below. We need your help. Thanks for watching Demolition Wrench. I was about to say off the ranch. Demolition Wrench, I love you, and I'll see you next time.
Hey, what camera is that? Number...
Shut up! Don't tell Mayor.